It's funny, isn't it? The things we care about. You'd think in a world packed with over 7 billion people, we'd have some, how do I put this, collective empathy. But no, that's not quite how it works, is it? Picture this. Someone stands up and announces they'll kill 1,000 people. Just like that. 1,000 human beings. And everyone listens. But it's a quiet room, a quiet crowd, until they add one monkey too. Suddenly, there's a shift, a stir, a murmur of concern. And when someone finally speaks up, what do they ask? What could possibly be the first question in such a scenario? Why the monkey? Not the people, mind you. Number the monkey. Intrigued yet? 1,000 lives, 1,000 people. It sounds like a lot, doesn't it? You'd think so, at least. But these days it's just a number, a statistic, a faceless, nameless mass. What does it mean, really, to threaten 1,000 lives? We barely even blink. We're so used to it, after all. The news is full of numbers. Death tolls from wars, natural disasters, pandemics. Another 1,000, another 1,000. What's one more? And then comes the monkey. And that changes everything. 1,000 people and one monkey. Somehow that feels different, doesn't it? One fragile creature in the middle of a chaotic world. And now we're suddenly paying attention. Because the fate of that one little monkey, well, that's a tragedy. But the people? Oh, they're just people. We've become experts, haven't we? Experts at not caring, at turning away, at pretending that the suffering of thousands is just too far away, too abstract, too unreal. Because if we cared about every human tragedy, how could we even get out of bed in the morning? So what do? We distract ourselves with simpler tragedies. Tragedies we can understand. Tragedies that don't ask too much of us, like one monkey. Because the loss of 1,000 people, that's too heavy. It's too much to carry. But a monkey, that we can handle. That we can feel. It's neat, contained. It's an easy kind of sadness. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The way we're so selective with our empathy. We'll shed tears over a single animal, one, while we scroll past the stories of human devastation. Why? Maybe because it's easier. Maybe because we've decided that humans, with all their complexity, their flaws, their mistakes, aren't worth our tears anymore. We've been burned by humanity too many times. But a monkey? A poor, innocent creature? That's different. That's pure. That's something we can all agree on. And it's simple. No messy backstory, no political context, just a helpless animal. But those 1,000 people, what were they to us, really? They're nothing more than numbers now. No names, no faces, just bodies to fill a quota in the background of our lives. That's the problem with human suffering, isn't it? There's just too much of it. It becomes white noise after a while. Another bombing, another earthquake, another famine. The images blur together. We can't take it all in. We're drowning in it. So we numb ourselves. We learn to look past it, to tune it out. And in that silence, in that quiet indifference, 1,000 people can die, and we'll hardly notice. But give us one monkey, one, and suddenly we wake up. Suddenly we care. Isn't it tragic how we've trained ourselves to filter out the cries of our own kind, but will rise up in outrage for a single animal? And there it is, the great irony of it all. The speaker says they'll kill 1,000 people and one monkey. And what does the audience latch on to? Not the 1,000 people, of course. That would require some form of compassion, some discomfort. No, they're concerned about the monkey. Why the monkey? They ask. And in that moment, the speaker knows they've won. They don't even have to explain. The joke, the dark, twisted joke, is already clear. Nobody cares about the people. Not really. They're expendable. A dime a dozen. But the monkey? That's a different story. What about the 1,000? What about the ones who were forgotten before they even had the chance to be remembered? They're gone now. Wiped from existence. Faceless. Nameless. But not the monkey. Oh no. The monkey gets to live on in our minds, in our conversations, in our outrage. The 1,000 were just people, after all. What were they to us? Strangers, numbers. But the monkey, that's a symbol, a beacon of our last shred of empathy. The 1,000 disappear, lost to the noise of our indifference. The monkey remains, etched into our conscience as the one we saved, the one we cared about. Maybe that's the real tragedy, the fact that we still can care, that we still want to care, but we've become so overwhelmed, so exhausted by the suffering of our own kind, that we've transferred our empathy to something simpler, something less complicated. The monkey becomes a symbol of everything we wish we could feel for the 1,000 people we've forgotten. It's the last stand of our empathy, the last thing we cling to in a world that's become too painful to bear. But for how long? How long before the monkey, too, becomes just another statistic, just another victim of our ever-growing apathy? And so here we are, 1,000 people gone, the monkey remembered. And us? We keep moving forward, pretending we haven't noticed, until the next tragedy comes along, until the next monkey